Hi guys, welcome to my 136th live stream. It is Tuesday, May 30th. Um, so we're going to be talking about The Walking Dead. This is going to be my, not first throwback review, but this is going to be a throwback review on The Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 5, Wildfire. So, I believe it's called that because of the CDC, like when Dr. Jenner, hit the beakers and spilled the stuff, it resulted in a contamination issue. So I believe that's why it's called wildfire, like the protocol that they're supposed to use. So let me just move the characters a little. You know what? Let me push Daryl out of that shot because he already steals enough of this from The Walking Dead. So yeah. So I hope you all are doing great. Epic asked me some questions earlier. By the way, Epic, love the new profile picture. So he asked me some things like, do you think the finale was good? The season one finale, TSS 19. I had some issues with it. It's nowhere near as bad as the season three finale, but it definitely is not as good as the season two finale. The season four finale. Uh, is it better than the season five finale? It's around there, I guess. And then season six finale. Ooh, yeah, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. So also, guys, I'm on Discord, so if you guys want to chat, just let me know. Hi, Joshua. Thank you for coming. It is awesome that you came. I'm really glad you showed up. Just ask away, man. It could be anything. But we try to keep it Walking Dead, so nothing too crazy or personal. But we can always, if you do have some questions about other stuff, you can always still ask them. Because I give some free reign to like ask other questions, that are not related to Walking Dead. So, So what did I think about Wildfire? Well, I think this was kind of obviously it's kind of a boring episode. It's like just episode five, because we just had the attack and then we had to do the CDC thing. But I think there was a lot of good stuff with this episode. There was a lot of quality, a lot of good character moments, a lot of great acting. So we remember what happened after the attack on the camp, which could have been prevented if Shane had a lookout. Just pointing that out. Like, I don't see how we can blame Rick when it's like, hey, Shane, it's not my fault. You didn't have a lookout, bro. But anyways, they're burying their dead. This and that. We have Glenn being a moral compass, telling them not to burn their dead, only burn the zombies. And, Jim, Jackie notices, and then we get to the part in the episode where everyone wants Jim to take off his shirt, which, oh boy, without context, that'd be pretty bad. But no, it's because he was scratched or bitten, and the actor did a good job. Even though Jim was a very minor character, you really got the sense that this character was kind of like, a little bit delusional at times, because like he he just said how he was going to be okay, but he was just kind of processing that, like he was trying to hide his bite or scratch, and then just like, oh no, everyone knows now, and he's just, and then he's hallucinating. Also, I like how when a person gets bit, they hallucinate seeing zombies and stuff, because I feel like that's realistic. Um, hey, Walker Dead, thanks for coming. Glad you can make it, man. And hopefully this is a good stream. I think you guys remember the throwback streams from last time were they had a lot of trolls. So let's just put it at that. So what I think about this episode? Great acting. Rick breaks his promises many times. He tells Carl he's not gonna leave again, and we know how that went. um, And then also Rick says we don't kill living in this episode when he points the gun at Daryl. So it's kind of like, about that, Rick. It's funny. Anyways, which version of Wildfire did you enjoy more? The one. Um, I don't remember Walker Dead. I'm sorry. It's been a few years since I saw your version, and I kind of forgotten. Like, I don't remember what was different. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of run me through it a little bit because I remember how this episode was, but I don't remember too much different from yours. Um, yeah, I don't remember too much different. I don't know. Yeah, sorry, I can't remember at the moment because it was a while ago. And okay, so also in this episode we get the Morales family leaving, which by the way is one of the dumbest things that The Walking Dead has done in a way, as far as like characters being like that. Hey, Overrays. Hey, Brian. How are you doing? I am good. I am good, man. Thank you for asking. Um, I don't know if you want to. I'm on my Discord right now. I am just if you want to join in a chat or something, just let me know. Um, yeah. So I'm doing Good Man Had Spaghetti, talking about the episode. I got some writing to do for Extinction, and yeah, man. Yeah, just also, guys, yeah, just let you know if you guys want to join me in talking, you're more than welcome to on my general Discord server. Let's see. This is my first time being on a throwback stream of yours. Um, yeah, I think it is too, Josh, because I did throwbacks reviews, but that was like years ago. Um, it was a while ago, I think. Um, yeah, I'm trying to remember. What was the last throwback I did? Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to check. Yeah. So, also I like the ending of the episode. Andrew Lincoln's acting was amazing about, how he was telling Jenner to let them in, and he actually does, and that was good. The acting was great. Um, and the way the the way the building lit up like that. And I know some people might say, "Oh, wait a minute, the building wasn't that bright." From the inside, like if you go inside the building, it's not that bright. It's like, well, they did that for special effects. It's not 100%. It doesn't look like that to them, like it does to us. So there's that. Um, in Walking Dead TV's version of Wildfire, Jim wants the group to leave him behind, but in reboot, Jim begs the group to put him down. So John, prevent him from turning into a walker. Right. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I remember. Right. Which I think is cool because there's a version of yours. Because that it shows that, hey, with John Miller in your series, that there is a change. Um, in that way. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, man, I just kind of forgot because it's been a while, and like, and if that was probably like for the most part the only difference, so I kind of didn't really get that. Um, because it's been a while. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Morales and his family leaving. What I said earlier. I don't know if the actors wanted to leave or something, or if Morales, like the actor, wanted to be like, hey, listen, I want to be off the show, and they decided to do it like this way, but not kill him off. Because like, listen, Morales leaving is one of the most dumbest decisions a character in the Walking Dead universe can make, because Morales literally has his wife and two kids, and he has his group, which also has kids. It has men who could shoot. Why would Morales leave, endanger his family, just to find his other family? Like he just says like we have family in Birmingham. It's like, no, your family is right here. Like, what the heck? Like, I'm sorry, but Morales and his wife, they got their kids killed or they got themselves killed, whatever. Because it's just like, what are you doing? Like, it's not smart. Like, if Morales leaves, if he leaves a group, then that means he's the only one who could protect his family. Whereas if he's in a group, everyone can protect his family, and he could protect them, and he could protect them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have a wife who can't and kids who in a zombie apocalypse who can't shoot, why not stay in the group? Because that's the safest option. I didn't mind his character, would have liked to see more, but maybe his actor wanted to leave. Don't know. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Overrated. Like, did the actor from Morales just want to leave? Like, and Frank Darabont wrote it like that? Because I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying like Morales, the character, like leaving like that is just so stupid. Like for the character, it's like why would you do that? Like, it's just dumb. Um, what's your favorite moment of the episode? I don't know, Josh. It might be the ending. I mean, the way Rick is like, "You're killing us," like that was really good. Hey, Resident Phoenix.
Stuff.
Not much. Just talk about the episode.
That's just up.
Wildfire. Yeah, man. Yeah. It was. I think it was the ending. I think I enjoyed the ending the most. And also, I like how this episode kind of establishes that hey, when a person gets bit by a zombie and they die from the fever, they're gonna start hallucinating zombies before they die. But but then for some reason, The Walking Dead kind of just forgets about this in the future when all the characters get bit. I mean, Travis's wife when she gets bit, and um, when Andrea gets bit, when Rosita gets bit, you know what I'm saying? When Carl gets bit,
Hmm.
do you see what I'm saying? Resident Phoenix, do you see what I'm saying? How
Yeah.
this episode was like it canonized that hey, if you get bit and you die from the bite, this is what happens to you. You hallucinate zombies, and it's just like the show's just like, oh, let's forget about that, which I kind of hated. I kind of hate that characters can just get bit and they could look perfectly fine, not sweating, and then boom, they put themselves down or whatever. Or Bob, him too. Remember, I don't think he hallucinated zombies, and it's like, come on, why did they take this off the show as part of the lore? That if you get bit by a zombie, this is what you hallucinate. I don't know. I hate that they got rid of that. Um, it's kind of dumb.
Yeah, and not to interrupt. Yeah, I totally agree. I don't like that they got rid of that too. I mean, to be fair, this is known. Like we all know this that in The Walking Dead, if you get bit or scratched, you're done. There's no saving you. Sure, you have 24 hours to live, but I'm like, sure, you do have 24 hours to live, but that was part of when you got bit or scratched.
Well,
That
you, well,
sure, once you do get bit and scratched, sure, you're done, but you still have a few hours left to live. That was something that was always played out in The Walking Dead, even in the comic books. That was something that was even played out in the comics, where if you get bit, you're done.
well, not if you're in Fear the Walking Dead. If you're bit, you can live. So,
Well, true. I mean, well, yeah, but in my honest opinion, that's going against the lore, in my opinion. I'm like, sure, they're doing that in Fear, uh, season 8. I'm like, sure, they're doing it in that show. However, you also got to admit that that makes no sense because we know the lore and the fact that Ian and Andy, for example, are like, they're going against that lore. I disagree with that because that's not how a walker bite works. You don't just get bit and then boom, you're fine. No, if you get bit, sure you have 24 hours to live, but also if you get bit, you're done. There's no saving you. This is known.
oh yeah, absolutely. Um, Also, I liked how, um, I think the group was very well split. With there was Rick and his family, Shane, and I feel like they had a healthy mix from the comics. You know what I mean? Part of the thing about season one was oh yeah, there were a lot of characters that weren't in the comic that were part of the group. I mean, you had Daryl, Jackie, and T Dog there that weren't in the comic, and the CDC wasn't even there. And to be fair, yeah, I do like the whole CDC idea. This is something original to the show, and it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, well, it's not a huge diversion from the comics because it's it's just one of those things where it's like it kind of fleshes out more of the world. Um, and realistically, it's one of those things that maybe even Kurtman was like, hey, realistically, people would go to the CDC, or what is the CDC doing in the zombie apocalypse? And it's like, okay, well, this answers that question. Because this was basically the Wiltshire States episode, if you think about it. Um, let's see. Override says it's so stupid. Yeah, if you get radiation. Yeah, apparently,
Yeah,
you just need to pump yourself full of radiation, get cancer, and boom, you'll live from a zombie bite. I mean, you're gonna have cancer. You're gonna die from that. But hey, you won't die from a zombie bite. And really quick, if I can just rant on
that's so
fear.
stupid though.
Yeah. Really quick,
No,
if I could just rant on fear for 2 seconds while the chat gives me some questions about the episode. I think that Resident Phoenix or Walker Dead.
yeah,
I think that Ian and Andy, what if they're actually not the most incompetent and stupid writers on the planet. Now, hear me out. What if they were hired by a different company to sneak into AMC and pose as good writers, and slowly they're ruining this franchise by making Fear the worst thing ever? Do you think that's possible? That Ian and Andy are diabolical geniuses who actually their plan all along is to ruin the Walking Dead franchise by making Fear the worst show ever?
I don't know, man. I mean,
That would be
that
some plan.
is,
That would be some plan, right?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I mean, I don't know, man. What I do know is that Fear, uh, AMC's Fear, I do know that's not what it used to be, which is unfortunate. Um, however, I mean, that's all. I mean, I don't know, man. In regards to that question, I don't know. That's an iffy for me, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know. All I do know is that Fear, the show version, is not what it used to be anymore, and it kind of sucks. But I mean, that's just me voicing my honest thoughts and opinions. That's just me being honest. I mean, sure, it's unfortunate, but I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's terrible. Um, hey, also, we got the death of zombifying Amy in this episode, so this was one change from the comic. I kind of think Amy was a little bit too tame as a zombie, but I do like the scene because in the comics, see, this is what I mean as far as like differentiating from or differing from the comics, where in the comics, boom, you just hear a shot, and people are like, "What, Andrea?" And then all of a sudden, she shot Amy in the head, even though she died, and was like, "Oh, she's gonna turn," and this and that. And I get it, that's true, but that's not realistic to real life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it could work in a comic, but in real life, if a woman lost her little baby sister, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she would not be like just, oh, she dies and then, oh, I'm going to shoot her in the head because this is how it works. No, realistically, and this is what I think Frank Darabont did, is that he added more of a human element to it where, no, this is how a person would act if um, they just lost their sister, like a sibling, the last family they had. This is how they would act. They would completely distraught. And remember the part where Rick walks to Andrea and she just points the gun at him, like I feel like some people have a problem with that, but me, I'm like, no, that's a realistic thing to do, because Andrea literally lost her sister in her arms, so she is not in the right mind, Um,
Yeah.
and also, I like how it takes Amy like 8 hours, the whole night to turn, but eventually in The Walking Dead, we see that hey, when people get devoured by zombies, it's like oh, they'll come back in like 5 minutes as a zombie. It's like what? No, Amy just got bit in the neck and arm, and even that took a while, like for her to reanimate because her body was damaged. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, her body took
Yeah.
significant damage from those bites. And, like Paula from season 6, the Savior, you know what I mean? Paula the Savior, she gets devoured by a zombie, and it's like, oh, 5 minutes later, she reanimates. It's like, yeah, I don't think that's how it works, but, whatever. Um, uh,
Yeah.
Overray
Yeah.
says, Overray says, it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I mean, think about it, guys. Okay, I mean, I'm not saying it's true. Ian and Andy probably are the worst writers ever. They're the most incompetent people on the planet, and they're writing Fear the Walking Dead. But there is a chance that who knows? Maybe they were hired big bucks by some company to ruin the Walking Dead franchise and taint it, and they're doing that with Fear. And I mean, it's possible. Also, the leader of Padre is Strike's brother. Oh, okay, so it's not Troy. I have no idea who Strike is or his brother. But okay, at least it's not Troy. At least he's not being brought back to life. You know, that would be funny. I mean, I'm enjoying season 8
I
more because
mean,
it's more interesting and the characters are a bit better. But the cure part, I roll my eyes too, and I hate it. The villains are BS and lame. Yeah, you don't have to be upset about voicing your opinion over Ace because I believe you. If you say that's how it's going, then yeah, I think I would hate all of season 8. I'm just seeing a little bit from people's thumbnails and when I'm watching a summon video, they'll mention how Fear is going, or I'll see a thumbnail that says this is the villain or something like that. Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, it's like, oh, the characters are a little bit better. It's like, okay, but still, is it cheaply made? Is the action horrible? Is it cringy? Is it breaking the lore? Because if so, it's like it doesn't matter if the characters are even a little bit better. It's like it's still dumb. Like, is the writing still garbage? Because yeah, then it's like, what's the point of the show anymore? So also in this episode, I think one thing though I didn't like was Shane pointing the gun at Rick though. That might have been too soon. Now, if this was the comic, Shane would have tried to kill Rick, I believe, in this episode, right? If this was the comic, this would have been the episode that Shane died. But I like how they didn't do that because it was not realistic in the comic. Like in the comic, it was just, oh, it's your fault. Amy's dead. Now Jim is dead. It's all your fault, Rick. And it's like, what? Like, Shane, you're literally blaming him for two people dying when it was not Rick's fault. He was there with you. Like, and then in the show, it's like, no, Shane is more sane. Dude, yeah, Shane was a really comical villain in the comics. So I'm glad that Frank Darabont didn't do the same thing because it's like, listen, dude, this guy is cringy. Shane was not a good villain in the comic. He just snapped. It's like, what the heck, dude? This is your best friend for life. It's like, what the heck? Strike is the woman with the big brown hair. Oh my gosh, she looks terrible. Seriously, Josh, wait, what did you say? I'm enjoying the characters better, but everything else is just not great. But hey, it's ending, and that's what's better. Yeah, imagine somebody asking you, hey, what did you love about Fear the Walking Dead? And then you just say, I like the ending. And then they go, great. And then you could say, when it ended. And then they could go, aw. Or all, um, yeah, I know who you're talking about, Josh. I saw that woman in a thumbnail, Strike. Gosh, she looks terrible. I'm sorry. She does not look like an intimidating character. She looks lame. Um, yeah, so, what did you think about this episode, Walker Dead? I know that I believe you didn't change too much from your reboot series in this version. I believe you didn't change much from this episode.
I mean, to be fair, there is only two versions of the episode, but looking at the TV version, it was pretty good. The acting was good. How the episode was written, I think it was pretty decent. I think Frank Darabont did a good job while writing the show version of the episode. Because to be fair, he did do a good job, and even if you do rewatch that episode on Netflix, it's still a good episode. It's not really one of those episodes where like, the action could have been better. No, it's actually one of those episodes where you can rewatch and you're like, yeah, that's a pretty cool episode.
Yeah,
But for the show version, I think it was pretty good.
exactly. Um, yeah, I still rather watch this than a lot of other episodes out there. You know what I mean? For The Walking Dead, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I like this. It was episode 4 was all about getting rid of the red shirts. So this episode is like, yeah, we just have the core characters now. Um, and I mean, which is is cool and good. And also it's also interesting. Man, see, this is one thing I noticed with Daryl in season 1. He actually uses a gun more than his crossbow. I mean, he doesn't fire it a lot, but in a CDC when it opens, you see him having a gun, not the crossbow, which I think that is a nice touch from Frank Darabont, where it's like, yeah, if Daryl uses a crossbow mostly, but it's like, but when he can have a gun, yeah, he's taking that first, just in case. It's like, and I think that's very realistic to not only the world of The Walking Dead, but the character. So yeah, there's that, and I don't know, I just noticed that, you know what I mean? But eventually we will eventually see how Daryl pretty much uses a crossbow no matter what in The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
even if he could get guns, like think about All Out War, and it's just like Daryl will just be like, nah, I'll just take my crossbow. Like, Daryl, you're going into war, man. Like, I don't know. It's just the really only good seasons with Fear are 1 to 3, and that's all 4 to 8 ain't good. Well, overrated. I do think 4A is good. I know some people hate Madison's death, Nick's death. I will admit, Madison's death was trash, but Nick's death does work in my opinion. Because I just felt like, even though the Clarks were the main characters in Fear, I still felt like, honestly, as long as we have Alicia to the very end and at least focus on the Clarks for the majority of the show, I think it made sense. You know what I mean? But and the thing is, like I said, even after Nick died, even Madison, I'm like, okay, there's still characters in this and that, and I did like. This is funny because when Morgan stops Alicia from killing June, that is like the one good scene with Morgan and Alicia in Fear. That is like the one good scene where he's like, I step aside for your brother. I will not step aside for you. Whatever your mother wanted for you, whatever is still, is like, whatever she wanted for this place, it is still in you. I see it. Like, that was a good line. Like, I can't believe Ian and Andy wrote that because it's good. Like, legit. I think the first half of season 4, I'm thinking like, wait a minute, that was actually good. Like, it's just crazy. I don't know.
Yeah. I
I don't.
mean, I could see where you're coming from, Bri. I really do. There are some good moments in season 4B,
I said A. I
but
said
then
A.
again, you look at season 4B, and you're like, yeah, what, like, what
No,
happened
no.
here?
I said season 4A is good. 4B is trash. 4B is straight trash.
I agree, and I
Um.
respect your opinion. Yeah, listen, to those that enjoyed season 4B of the walk of Fear, the show version of Fear, I respect your opinion. It's just season 4B of Fear, the show version, I look at that second half and I'm like, what is this? That's what I'm really saying.
Um. Ore says, I doubt they did. It could have been it could have been the character actor. Can you explain more, Ore? I'm kind of lost. What you mean by that? Like, so so overall, I guess I'm just gonna say, like, I did like this episode. Rick and Shane's back and forth, sort of. Um, Daryl, certain lines he does, like taking a pickaxe and like, charging at Jim, man, like that's iconic. Like, and then Rick pointing the gun, we don't kill living, and then he points the gun at Daryl's head like for the second time throughout the entire show, which is just kind of funny. And it's the second time in the first season. I think the part with Andrea and Amy was very sad. Like I said, minor nitpick with Amy's Walker Amy being too calm. Like, it's just like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes when zombies wake up, it's like, oh, boom, they're like super strong. But then sometimes, like in this episode, she was like weak. So like that part was a little bit weird. But other than that, it was great. I mean, we got the scene where Carol bashes in Ed's head, which, oh boy, like that is still, like, even back then, Daryl was just like gross. Like Daryl is super gross. He's super tough. But when Carol bashes in Ed's head, like, you can see it on Daryl. He's just like, whoa. So that's partially why Survival Instinct, in my opinion, the game is not canon. Like, Daryl was not a god in season 1. He wasn't. He was just a tough guy who, he saw that from Carol and he was like, whoa. Like, that's nasty. Um,
Yeah.
let's see. That came up with the lines. Um, could have. I mean, if the losers did come up with the lines, I would be very shocked. But maybe they did. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Overrace. Ian and Andy may have come up with that. Who knows? But I'm just saying, like, that was good. I'm like, how's that possible? Joshua says, who agrees with me that radiation getting rid of Walker bites is ridiculous and not realistic? I absolutely agree, Joshua. I think we're all agreeing with you. It doesn't make sense because then that means the zombie virus is just like any other disease, like cancer or this and that, when literally it's supposed to be a supernatural thing that everyone has it. Everyone has it. There's no way to get rid of it. There's no stopping it. It's humanity's extinction kind of thing. You know what I mean? And And the fact that, oh, you can just make it go away. So let me get this straight. You're telling me if somebody got bit, they could just pump themselves full of radiation and they'll live from the zombie bite, but they'll just get cancer. Like, what? I mean, come on. Um, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um,
To
one
be
second.
fair, the whole radiation thing, it's no. Just no.
Yeah. Sorry. 1 second, guys. All right. So, um, yeah. I mean, oh yeah. Okay. So, the fact that Daryl and Carol are the last survivors from this group, um, and we cannot count Rick. Here's why. Because we don't know if Rick is even alive in the current timeline. The Walking Dead, after the 1 year time skip in the final episode of the show, Judith is about 11 years and 10 months in the apocalypse, so they're almost 12 years now. By the end, when Daryl drives off, they're almost 12 years. So we don't know if Rick is still alive in that current time. We don't know. So right now, like, basically, Daryl and Carol are the last survivors from this group. And I'm not
In the
faulting,
show.
yeah, from the show. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, like, it's just not right, man. It's just not right. I don't, like, seriously. Josh says, it's nice we got Alicia mentioned in the final season of Fear. Yeah, Josh, but just a mention, like, she was a main character. Like, come on. Like, she was the Rick of the show, of Fear. Or the Carl, like, I don't know, it depends how you look at it. But she was the main character. Like, you know what I mean? She was kind of like Carl, Rick, and Daryl combined. She was the most popular character, like Daryl, with the main show, but she was the main character like Rick, and she was the legacy character like Carl. So it kind of depends. Um, but yeah, what I was saying about yeah, Daryl and Carol being the only two survivors from this group in the CDC. Yeah, just no, no. I mean, oh boy, come on. Also, I wonder if this is an Easter egg to the Mist, movie, because I believe in the Mist there was like all that fog and stuff, and the characters looking at something bright, and it's like, ooh, is this an Easter egg to that? I don't know. If it is, I think that'd be cool. By the way, guys, a quick mention: I am leaving this Saturday for a 2 week trip to Europe with my family, so I will not be able to contact you guys pretty much at all, except for a little bit on YouTube here and there. I will try to set a community tab. Um, yeah, after this live stream, I will set a community tab, and you guys can like talk to me there. Like you guys can give me questions and stuff, and I'll like try to answer them on my phone and stuff while I'm overseas, and yeah. So that way we can still keep in touch some way. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to mention about this episode, man?
Um, yeah. Which part of the episode did you enjoy? Like the TV series version of the the Wildfire episode from the show? Which scene was your favorite?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it. I really like the ending. I just think the ending is maybe the best part. When Rick's saying like, you're killing us, and then you don't really know if Jenner's gonna let him in. You kind of hope he does, but it's like, oh, you don't know. And the way the characters are just panicking, like they're scared, they're zombies, and it's like, oh man, that's crazy. Yep. Um, 1 second. All right, so would you like to join Walking to Thursdays this Thursday? It could be earlier. I could try overrays. It's just that it depends what time because I have to go to bed at 10:30 because I wake up pretty early in the morning. So I would like to. It's just that I know you stream late, so there's kind of that, and I wouldn't stay long probably. Like um but yeah, like I would definitely like to join, man. Absolutely. It's just yeah, time is an issue because yeah, like I said, man, I have an early job. You know, I wake up every morning early for my job. So yeah. All right. Sorry, man. Did you want to say anything else about this episode? I lost track.
No, I was just gonna ask, like, which version of the Wildfire episode did you enjoy? Did the one from the show version, like the one from the Walking Dead TV show, or the one from the reboot?
I like both. I like both, man. For what they were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, I did like how in your version you changed it to where Jim did not turn. Because I will admit, like, it's a nice change because, um, dude, like, seriously, the amount of people that are like, hey, is that Jim as a zombie? Remember the season 4 trailer? Is that Jim as a zombie? Or is that, is that, like, are we gonna see zombie Jim again? Like, no, guys, no, like, come on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when a character gets left behind and they turn, it's like, oh, we're gonna see that person as a zombie again. It's like, guys, give it up. Like, just I wouldn't get my hopes up.
Yeah,
I plan maybe
yeah.
5 or so. Yeah, that's good, man. That's awesome. I can definitely make it if it's like at 5 or something. As long as there's no like last minute changes when my life like something comes up. But yeah, I think I can do that. Yeah, that should definitely work. Um, all right. So, yeah, is there anything else you guys want to ask about this episode? Like, which characters worked, which characters didn't? By the way, Morales' daughter gave the doll to Sophia, and obviously that's a whole Sophia doll thing, you know. But yeah, Morales' kids did not get they did not get a lot of lines in the show. What's your pros and cons with this episode? Great question, Josh. Um, Pros, I think. Pros, I liked how the characters kind of were just trying to recover from what happened. I liked the Jim hallucinating zombies while he's dying. I liked the CDC stuff at the very end with the panic and they get let in. Um, but as far as like cons, Walker Amy was definitely not as dangerous, and um, yeah, it was just a little
Pros.
slow. But other than that, it was good. Um, hey, Raise.
What happened? I like the Jim hallucinating zombies while he's dying. I like the CDC stuff at the very end.
Oh, hey,
They let in.
Raise.
But on.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, for some reason there's an echo. Like,
Yeah, sorry about that. I have the
oh,
stream on my TV. Turn it down.
oh, okay, thanks, man. Yeah, it was a little distracting, but yeah, man, thanks for coming, and yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know. About this episode or anything else in general, because yeah, man, I think I like this episode. Like I said, it was just a little slow, and the Walker Amy was kind of weak in my opinion. Like, but other than that, like, I enjoyed the CDC ending. I enjoyed the ending. I enjoyed the character moments and them recovering. I enjoyed the scene with Andrea and Amy. That was very realistic. Laura Holden did a great job with her acting, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any problems with the finale. I thought it was pretty amazing for a season 1 finale.
Wait, this wasn't the season 1 finale. This was episode 5.
Or sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, episode 5.
Yeah, a lot of people mistake these two episodes together.
Yeah, because there was one more episode was in there. Yeah, there was. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Do you think the ending was a Easter egg to the Mist? Because all these characters. I mean, you have Dale, you have Andrea, Carol, like the actors for them. And it's like that, like you know what I mean? Because like I've never seen the Mist, but I know it's like, hey, there's that fog, that bright light, and stuff. So it's like, oh, is that like an Easter egg?
Right. Maybe. Could be.
Oh yeah, I also liked Shane not dying in this episode because I just felt like that would have been unrealistic if they followed the comic. in that way.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, he definitely is a lot longer. Which was cool.
Yeah, it's more realistic. When it comes to Walking Dead, I kind of prefer them doing. I'm okay with them pushing certain things off for realism. Like with Shane's death, it definitely works better in the show than in the comic. Because, in real life, no one would be like that. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, could be. Insane people would surely. But
right. But Shane has been Rick's best friend
be,
for
oh yeah,
her life. So
in that case, it would probably not. But no, I love the episode. I mean, they didn't have really any issues with it. It had a lot of draminess to it. It had um, I like the part where he was getting close to finding the cure, and then it got destroyed.
Yeah, and then now it's like, guys, we do have a cure in The Walking Dead.
Oh, I don't count fear at all. I roll my eyes every time they say that. I roll my eyes. I'm like, whatever, piss off.
Not canon. Not canon.
I don't even look at it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. No, it's not a cure. They're
Yeah.
just a bunch of idiots that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, once again, it's the same Crahola every single time, episode through episode, and this is known because we notice.
Yeah, that's the only part I'm really enjoying that much is just the characters. So, because they're being a lot better. But in terms of the villains, nah, lame.
Also, how are the kids? Are the kids cringe?
Shockingly, no. Shockingly, no. I'm actually okay with the kids. They're actually not being annoying. They're actually being and stupid. They're actually they have common sense, which I'm shocked.
That is shocking. But the thing is, isn't
They're pointing their gun at the enemy and being like, "You tell us where it is," And I'm like, "Hell yeah, that's what I like to see."
So are the kids actually some of the better characters this season?
Yeah. I don't hate their actor at all. I mean, even in the first episode, I understood why she was, like, yeah, Padre's a good place, But by the end of the episode, she just completely, she was like, oh, wait a minute, no, I don't want to go back, because she finally, saw was kind of what was going on, and she was like, you know what, maybe that's not a good place, And then she completely changed. She's like, no, I don't want to go back, and I'm like, all right, there we go.
I mean, what about the fact that she's played by a 12-year-old actress and she's playing a 7-year-old? Like, is that distracting for you?
No, not really.
Because I feel like I would be
I barely noticed it. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't know how tall her actor is, but in the show, I mean, I can't really tell that much. I mean, she pretty much looks her age, from what I could see. But that's just me. Maybe other people could see a little bit more different than I could. But for playing the character's age, I think she does fine.
Okay. Okay, are you excited for Summit?
Yes, very much so. Very excited.
Me too, man. I'm hearing lots of things. Rick, CRM, General Beale. And I mentioned this before with Walker Dead. I kind of wish who's the actor? Terry O'Quinn, right? Yes, I got it.
Nice. You're better than me on that.
Yeah, I haven't looked at his name in weeks, but I mean, obviously Walker Dead and I talked about it. We're like, oh man, dream casting would have been Dominic Purcell, but I'm like, this is still good. I'm glad it's still not the guy from Breaking Bad, or I'm glad it's not like another Pope, basically. Like, I'm glad we're not getting.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for it. I heard that the finale is gonna be like 2 hours long. Hopefully that sticks true. I mean, hey, I'm not gonna complain. Any amount of content you can give me is great.
As long as it's
I
good.
hope it has. I hope it has a satisfying ending. I mean, if it really is the end, then at least make it great. You know what I mean?
Right.
I heard some rumors that the ending is very good and it's a happy ending in some aspect. So I'm gonna kind of just go with the level headed and be like, all right, I'm gonna take it with what's worth and hope that is the case. You know.
I hope so too, because yeah, there's a lot of things they have to tie up. I mean, Jadis, the World Beyond characters, the kids that went missing, the CRM war, the Cure stuff, the Heath, the AAAs, the
Yeah.
just everything, man.
Rick's character dying. I don't think he's gonna die. For my take, I think he might potentially do some more. You know what I mean? It could be in a different spinoff or something. I don't know. Or he could, or maybe in a future spinoff. You know what I mean? He might take a break, and then come back or do something else, or whatever. But I don't think it's, it might be the end for him and Michonne, but I don't think it's the official end for his character. You know what I mean? I could be wrong on it.
They said it was. They said it was the end of their characters. That's plural,
Right.
So
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to, because anytime they say stuff like that, you know what I mean? I mean, they always said that kind of stuff in previous seasons, you know what I mean? And then they always go back on what they say, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm like,
then it's false advertising.
Right. Well, I mean, like Morgan, I mean, his actor saying that too, and I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it. You know what I mean? Like, you're saying that you're done for now, but at the same time, you say if they come up with good writing, that you'll come back. So it's like, well, it's for now it might be, but I don't think it is forever.
Yeah.
I would at least like his character to at least reunite with Rick. That's what I want to see, at least, because it's been so long. So, I mean, I hope eventually, I mean, even if it's a couple years from now, I would hope eventually, they would get to reunite. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. If only
But
if only in this episode, Rick got on the radio and said, "Morgan, not only stay out of the city, stay out of Fear the Walking Dead, stay out of Texas, stay out of, don't go into a spinoff."
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking on that. I really don't know. I'm not too sure. If I was AMC, after maybe I would have gave him one more season. You know what I mean? But after season 5, I would have been like, "You out of here! You're trash. New writers." If they would have came back and told me, well, we would have to retcon, I'd be like, you know what? That's fine. Retcon. Retcon the past 2 seasons and start from scratch where the season 3 ended. I am perfectly fine with that. I don't care, but get rid of these trash people. They suck. They don't know how to write for nothing.
Yeah, I totally agree. Ian and Andy didn't even know how to write anything.
I know Dan Walker, he's just like, oh, hey, retcon, he said that. I'm like, brother, I would take that over what we're getting now. I mean, for real.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it if he doesn't like it, but me personally, I would rather take that over what we're getting, because season 7 was, oh my gosh, that was just unbearable. The only 2 good episodes in that season was Dwight and Sherry, and that was it. Those are the only 2 good written characters that actually, if you watch the episode, you might have a great time with, and you'd be like, all right, it's not bad, it's decent. But every other episode, no, not even close.
Oh man, dude. I
pretty
wish
sad to say. Pretty sad to say.
Dude, I admire your persistence, because I would not put myself through that kind of torment.
There's another YouTuber I watch, Trev's channel too, and oh my gosh, he makes my brain explode. He said Alicia's final episode was amazing, and I was like, are you on drugs? Are you on drugs or crack? Like, what the freak? And he said the finale was great too. And I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, dude,
The
you
writers
must
on
be
all
on
that stuff.
something. I mean, for real. You must be on something. You have to be. To say that those episodes are amazing. They're not. They're trash.
Yeah, I don't know if Trev's. I wouldn't say Trev's on something. I have no idea. But Ian and Andy and the CEOs. Oh yeah, where do you think the budget's going for the show? Uh, for their crack addiction. You know, so
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Sure. Yeah, I did. That. Like I said, that those are the only episodes I liked. Was the Dwight Which episode? I think it was 11 or 13. It was. I don't remember which one. I think it's 11. And episode 5. Yeah, of season 7. Those 2 episodes were enjoyable and fun.
yeah.
But it was all their characters were written good, and that was the only reason.
Hey, can I read you a scenario I wrote to Walker Dead? It was just this fun thing. Um, I was just, me and him were just having some fun, and let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, okay. It is let me see. Is it something? Okay. Wait. I almost got it. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So Negan and Maggie in Dead City. This was just I wrote this like actually wow yeah a month ago, and I put okay. So this is what Negan's saying. So Negan and Maggie are talking. So Negan, Maggie, how did Herschel even get kidnapped again? Maggie, well, we were traveling from the Commonwealth back to Hilltop by ourselves. Negan, wait, by ourselves? As in no guards to protect you two? Maggie, yeah? Why? And then Negan just has a blank, expressionless face, like, seriously? And then afterwards, Negan says, okay, so first things first, let's go back to the Commonwealth. Tell Ezekiel and get everyone geared up to rescue him. Maggie, no, I'm going alone, Negan. And then Negan gives a double emotionless, expressionless face, like, seriously? And then,
Well,
and
that
yeah.
I'm not. I guess I can't be too surprised on that. Maggie can be very stubborn.
Oh, and then I wrote this afterwards from Negan's perspective. You know, when I bashed in Glenn's head, I didn't think your brain was also in it.
I'm sorry. That's funny. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I love it. I'm excited for Dead City. To be honest, I'm excited for him. It looks really good. The quality looks really good, and it just looks fun.
Yeah, I heard the quality looks amazing, but do you think the writing's gonna work? Like
Um,
villains,
I,
like
I mean, I think it can. Um, I was a little bit concerned in the beginning, but now that I kind of see, how it's kind of going, at least from the trailer, I could see potential. I can.
but not
You
5 seasons worth, right?
Well, I don't think that story is going to be 5 seasons, but I could see other issues occurring for them solving one issue. You know what I mean? So they could solve this issue that they're dealing with getting um
Herschel.
the son back. Yeah, Herschel. Yeah, I was drawing a blank at the moment. um, yeah, getting Herschel back. But then maybe another issue occurs. You know what I mean? And then maybe it creates more complicated problems. I could definitely see that.
Right, right.
And that's okay. I'm fine with that. I really am. I mean, I would like to see more seasons personally. And that's great that she's on board to do more. I mean, I think, you could surely make it interesting. I mean, it doesn't mean that Dead City needs to stay in New York, Manhattan the whole entire time. It could be maybe this season they're in Manhattan, and maybe after that, maybe they try to escape and get out, and then they run into more conflict and more problems as they go. I could surely see that.
Yeah.
It really just depends on how the first season ends. I definitely don't. I mean, maybe if they don't completely resolve it in this season, maybe the second season they will for sure. And then from there, then who knows? But I could definitely see more seasons for sure. Definitely not dragging the storyline. I agree with that. They shouldn't do that, and I hope they're not doing that. because there's only so far you could carry it before it's just like, okay, it's too much.
Yeah.
So I definitely see the issue with that, and I understand your concerns on that 100%, and I agree with you. But I do see other problems maybe occurring as they're trying to resolve this one.
Right, right. But here's the thing. One of those problems. Yeah. How about Herschel's age? It's gonna be a huge
You're right.
problem.
True
That's gonna
that.
be
True
huge.
that.
He's gonna, yeah, he's gonna be kidnapped. Then 3 seasons later, he comes back, and he's gonna be like 18, and Nika's gonna be like, Maggie, I thought he was a kid," and it's just like,
Right.
and then
Right.
and then
Yeah.
Maggie, yeah, and then Maggie could just look at him and be like, "Well, what do you expect? The writers didn't take into account the actor's aging." Like,
Yeah. That could be a little bit of a problem right there. So.
yeah. Also, if it's titled Dead City, I know you said you don't think it has to stay in New York, but I slightly disagree with that because if it's called
Okay.
Dead City, if it's called Dead City, then let's say season 2 they leave with Herschel. Okay, so all of season 2 they're in the woods. Are they going back to the Commonwealth? And then
Right.
are they gonna
Yeah.
go back
Yeah.
into
I
the
don't.
city? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely. Yeah. It's complicated. I really have to see how it ends to go from there. Um, and when I see how the first season ends and how what it leaves on, and whether it leaves on a cliffhanger or it leaves on a I don't want to say satisfying end, but it leaves on a mysterious type of ending. It really I just have to see how it ends to know for sure. Okay, where are they heading with it?
Right, right. At least they don't have to
It
worry about
really
the.
sucks. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, at least they don't have to worry about for Daryl. For I can't believe they titled it "The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon," but
I'm actually shocked to be honest, but
I'm
which I'm
dumbified. I am dumbified.
Super Batman, Mister Devon over there. He said he's fine with it. He actually prefers the Daryl Dixon name over what was the previous name? I'm already forgetting that one too because now Dan got me so used to Daryl Dixon now. I can't remember what the previous name was called. What was it? Raise the Dead. Yes. Ah, yeah, I didn't mind the name. I mean, either name works for me. I'm like, whatever. I mean, I agree they could come up with a better name, but
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to die over it. It's just a name. Um, I agree. I can go either way. Raise the Dead sounds cool, but at the same time, Daryl Dixon's fine too. I mean, they're lazy on that. I will agree, but
When are they never?
but Super Batman doesn't care for Raise the Dead. He doesn't like that name. He would rather them go with Daryl Dixon, which I find that kind of interesting. I was like, really? I thought you would. I was kind of like, huh, okay, that's a different opinion. All right.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean,
but
I'm not watching it, you know what I mean? But like, I already hate it because like, at least with Raise the Dead, it's like, okay, that lets you know that hey, the world doesn't revolve around Daryl, but literally
but,
it does now, and also we know that he's safe.
yeah, unless that they're just advertising it as Daryl Dixon, and then maybe the title actually be a little bit different. I don't know. I mean, I just find that I don't really know because I know they changed the name for with Dead City. I know they changed that. They were advertising as it was called this, and then they eventually changed it to Dead City. So and so we still got a ways to go before it airs. I assume it's going to air in October. Um, so maybe they could change it again. I don't know. If they do, great. But if they don't, fine. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's just a little bit lazy. you know. So I do that, but it's like come up with a little bit of a better name. But I get it. It could be tricky to come up with names, because you're like, okay, it's focused on this particular character, and maybe this character might come in at a later season. So, should we call it this? Should we call it that? What fits? I can understand. It could get complicated. I mean, that's
It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard for me to come up with one.
yeah. Maybe they should put you on the director part. You know what I mean? You'd be like, all right, here. use this name, you know.
Oh yeah, like just The Walking Dead extinction, and they'll be like,
I
"Whoa."
think I think they're overthinking. I think that's the problem. I think that's why they're coming up with these names. They're overthinking it too hard, too complicated. They're making it too complicated than it should be. You know.
Yeah. Um,
And
Josh,
I think if they would just ease up on that and just be like, okay, what is this about? You know, what should be the proper? Oh, yeah. See, if we just use our brain a little bit, we can come up with a good name.
yeah, and also I hear they're working on. I heard they're filming season 2 and writing season 3, and I'm just like, what in the world is going on? Like the pre-production for
Oh
season
yeah,
3 is
they're,
going.
he's rocking, man. He's on a mission. Which, hey, power to you. I mean,
Right.
I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch to the end. I'm not gonna stop. I mean, I got my life this long into it. Um, I like the characters, so I'm gonna keep going. As long as they keep going. So I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, all I ask is make it make sense.
That's
And
fair.
make it worthwhile. That's all I ask. If you do that, fine. I'll keep going. You know,
Yeah.
make it entertaining. Et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
As long as you can do that, if you do the simple things, then I'll stick along for the ride. You know,
Yeah.
uh,
I was about to say
yeah,
like I know Daryl is superhuman, but sheesh, is Norman Reedus too? I mean, the dude almost died filming the finale, and it's like, I mean, what? Like,
yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
um, Joshua asks, how do you feel about Lauren Cohan wanting more seasons of Dead City? Um, yeah, I already told you I don't like it, and this is one of the reasons why. It's because, and don't get me wrong, if anyone wants to enjoy more seasons, that's fine. It's just that if Andy and Denai want to be done with this franchise, I just feel like you gotta end everyone else's stories together, because because then we're never gonna get that Walking Dead endgame of like, hey, Rick sees Negan and Maggie again. Because to me, I'm just thinking like, wait a minute, if Rick's final story is 1 season, Michonne's 2, and Dead City gets 5 seasons, I'm gonna be like, wait a minute, what is Rick doing in Dead City, in the Dead City timeline? You know what I mean? I'm gonna be like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just it's a head scratcher, and I just wish they didn't do it, because I felt like World Beyond, Fear, and the main show were all the necessary shows to set up the Walking Dead endgame with the whole CRM thing, like an Avengers Infinity War thing. I feel like World Beyond, Fear, and the main show was all you needed, but now with Daryl's show and Maggie and Negan, I'm like, okay, is this also setting up that endgame? Because Rick and Michonne, they want to leave, they want to quit, they want to be done with their characters, Andy deny. So now I'm just thinking of, wait a minute, so is The Walking Dead really going to continue after Rick dies, or 100% his character is done, over, and then all these other character stories will continue? Because to me, I'm just like, I don't think that's satisfying. I feel like Rick should be in the final story arc of this franchise, or maybe not franchise, but the current story they set with these characters.
yeah. I mean, as long as it gets to at least see them one more time. I mean, if the characters still want to do more stories on their characters, I mean, I'm fine with that. I'm not gonna die over it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's up to them. I mean, they don't have to stay there forever, never, never. Um,
Right, but
you
that's what
know,
it feels like. That's what it feels like. Lauren Cohen's like, I want 5 seasons. Lauren, let me
I
remind
think
you.
she's saying that. I think she's saying that because she left during the main show,
Oh
and I
yeah,
think she feels guilty of doing that. Because she went to that spin-off, or she went to that other show, and then it got canceled because it didn't do good. And then she was like, "Damn," So then she felt bad because she basically said "F you fans" type of thing. You know what I mean, for leaving.
right. But
Uh,
yeah, the thing is
so
though.
I think what she's trying to do is kind of make up for it.
Right.
By doing more content with this character, with her character, and doing more with it to be like, hey, I apologize for doing this. I regret it. You know, I I do love the fans. I love the fan base. I love the apocalypse part, and I want to do more for you guys. And I can see that. And the only good thing about Dead City and the Daryl show is it's not that many episodes. It's only 6. So it's not like we're getting 16 episodes worth. Yeah.
Right. But if
So it
it's
is a lot more doable. You know.
right, but if it's 5 seasons worth, that's a lot of story. And the thing is,
Yeah, that is.
I'd rather
It
have
is.
Daryl. I'd rather have Daryl, Maggie, and Negan. I'd rather them have satisfying endings, perfect endings, than we get 5 more seasons with their characters, and we don't know if they get to ever reunite with Rick or ever see him again. To me, I'd rather have a perfect ending with their characters than just more story. Because to me, the ending is like the most important thing. With characters or story, you gotta do that ending right. Just look at Game of Thrones, Attack on Titan. You mess up on that ending, and whew, it's over.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I should mention the spoiler. I mean, I don't know if it's actually legit or not. Because I just got a little bit of inside information, but I don't know if I should mention it here though. And that's up to you.
Um, I'm gonna end the stream in 20 minutes. Just to let you guys know, I gotta end in like 20 minutes. So, yeah, if you guys have any last things you want to ask me personally, um, or yeah, if you guys want to ask me anything, go ahead. Um, yeah, just shoot. So, let's see. Or I can come up with a
So what
question.
happened?
You guys want to ask me something? Because I'm ending this in 20 minutes.
Yeah, what was it?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, so in regards to Wildfire, the episode in the show, um, yeah, like, what'd you think of it? Like, what'd you think of the beginning of the episode? Do you think the beginning had a good, opening, or do you think it could have been better? Like, what do you think?
It was alright. Rick talking on the radio, which, by the way, I just want to point out, they leave signs for Morgan, they leave him signals, but Morgan is just like, this part with Clear still confuses me, because Morgan is like, I tried to contact you at dawn, but you were never there. It's like, what are you talking about, Morgan? Rick did it several times. You didn't pick up once. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Like, Morgan even said he was going to head to Atlanta, and I get it, Dwayne died, things changed, but then he still stayed in the area. I don't know if this is a plot hole, but it's like, I wonder why didn't Morgan leave King County and just go to Atlanta after he lost Dwayne? I wonder that.
Um, could it have been the range, maybe?
I don't think that was an issue. He had guns and stuff. He could have.
Right.
Also, we saw in Fear, Morgan can. We saw in Fear season 7, Morgan can make a supercar. He's a. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I think. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if the walkie-talkies eventually hit a range issue, maybe.
Maybe.
Because I know they only go so far, and then if you go past that range, then you ain't. It's not gonna. And because Rick was leaving the area, right? So he didn't stay in the area. He did leave,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
so maybe he got out of range. I mean, that could have happened. I don't know. Now, why he didn't do it the first time beats me. Maybe he didn't have the radio on. Maybe it was an error on his part. Maybe he didn't have it on when he did it, or maybe his clear was making him forget that he heard it. You know,
Possibly.
it's hard to really say. I mean, I guess you're right. There is some plot holes there that would be interesting to maybe have an answer to if we ever do eventually get that. That'd be kind of cool. I think.
Well,
Um,
well, at least at least his wife and son are dead. As in, like, they're not zombies. Jenny and Dwayne, they're not going to come back again as a hallucination or as zombies. Like, those characters are gone. You know.
sure. Let's see here.
Why is there something
Season.
I need to know?
Do you like Andrea? Season 1 or 2 or 3? Yeah. So season 1, yeah, she was okay. I would say season 2 was her best season for me.
Dude, she slept with Shane. Dude, how is that?
I know that's true. That part of mine it didn't bother me too much.
It
I just
heavily
laughed.
bothered me. It
I
heavily
just laughed at it. I thought it was funny. I'm like, wow, look at this fricker hopping from girl to girl. I'm like, man. No, but I mean, but besides that encounter, like, I didn't mind her character. Season 3, I just thought she was stupid.
Oh yeah, she's dating a murderer. She's dating a murderer, and it's just like,
So season 3, I mean, I can't. The only part I really liked her in season 3 was the ending when she finally got some common sense and said, "Frick you, Governor. I'm gonna get the hell out of here." And that's what she did. And she started ran away. And at that point, I was cheering her ass on. I'm like, about damn time you got some brain cells in your head. I mean, you should have got this in the beginning.
He should have cut the governor's throat in his sleep.
Right? Yeah, she didn't do that either. And I was like, oh, that's a missed opportunity. You could have done that. You should have done that. You had the chance to do that. You blew it. You didn't do it. That's a shame. And I'm sure she regretted it too after when he was coming at her and she started, beating her up and all that, started doing that. I'm sure she was like, I should have did that.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Joshua asked you, do you think we'll see Dwayne's corpse in episode 4 of Fear the Walking Dead, season 8?
I think we will, if I'm not mistaken. I think the trailer accidentally showed it in the trailer.
How do you accidentally show something in a trailer?
Oh yeah, I do remember. It was like an ad on YouTube.
I remember it. I watched somebody else's. I think it was Movie Idol. Yeah, he freaking went to the scene, and it was right there. And I was thinking that's her corpse right there, and he's looking at it. And I'm like,
wow. Morgan's former wife's dead body. And I'm like, wait, you expect me to believe that Morgan pulled the trigger on his zombified former wife in that house? Like, I don't know. Because I'm like, wait, didn't Morgan mention, like, during the Clear episode of the Walking Dead TV show during season 3B, I'm like, wait, didn't Morgan mention that he had Walker Jenny in, like, a cell? Like, in the cell? No. And then somehow, I guess Morgan left the cell not locked, and from there, that's how Dwayne slowly got bit. And then Morgan saw his Walker wife biting on Dwayne, and then that's where he said, "Oh, I see red." I'm like, wait, didn't he say something like that in Clear of the show?
No. He said that he and Dwayne were scavenging supplies from a house because remember he let Jenny walk away in the street. And he said that Dwayne couldn't pull the trigger, and then he was in the basement, and she was just on him. Like, he couldn't pull the trigger, and then he pulled the trigger right then and there.
He couldn't do it.
I guess he never buried her, but I don't know. But yeah.
He looked up. There was Dwayne holding the gun, pointing at her, and then he said that Dwayne couldn't do it, and then she pounced on him, and then he said there's so much red. All I see is red. I mean, he was saying that constantly. But if I'm not mistaken, I think he did pull it. Pretty sure.
But didn't the houses burn down though? I wonder if that's gonna.
Yeah. I remember when Carl looked at the map. I just watched the episode like not that long ago with Devin over here. I was going to the best scenes because he loved the part where he's just like we must clear when he was stabbing Rick. That scene's so funny.
Which, by the way, I'm surprised. I'm surprised his shoulder even works after that. Like he didn't need medical
Oh,
attention.
I was laughing at that. We had to keep watching that over and over again a couple times because we just kept laughing at that. It was so damn funny. The way he's just like, we must clear, and then he stabs Rick, and Rick's
Yeah,
it's just damn. It's funny. It's hilarious now when you watch it.
yeah. If Morgan
Oh.
can see if Rick can see Morgan now, he would be like, "Wow, I got
Yeah.
stabbed for nothing."
Facts. No, but yeah, when Carl looked at the map, it specifically showed where he had it Rick's house, and all these houses in a row were all burnt, and and it said that in red. It said burnt.
Mhm. So are they intact now?
Yeah, apparently. That's with
That's a
Ian and Andy.
problem then.
In Ian and Andy's world, it is.
Yeah, that's such BS though.
Unless if he was lying and said that they were burnt. Unless if he did
Why
that.
would he lie?
Why would he lie? Yeah, why would he lie about that? Why would he put that in chalk? Why would he put that on one of the walls? That makes no sense.
Unless if that tells him not to go back, maybe? I'm not sure.
That makes sense. He's the only one that lives there. It's not like he's trying to protect someone. So to me, that's just
yeah. Well, I mean, unless if he's just telling himself not to go back, I don't know. I mean, that's the only. I mean, it's not really a good way of looking at it. I would agree with you there. You know, but no, I think my guess is he probably did burn it down, but Ian and Andy, they're idiots and they don't care, and they're just like, no, he didn't burn it down.
Well, Ian and Andy, they're the kings of retcons. They'll retcon character deaths, they'll retcon character development, they'll retcon locations, burn down, they'll retcon Kurtman's lore.
We'll just put them in the universe. We'll kill them, and then we won't retcon it. Problem solved. There, you want to retcon? There you go. Can't do nothing now.
No, we should put them in their own writing. That'd be justice. Their own writing.
Yeah, facts. Oh, knowing them that they would live forever.
Oh gosh.
You'll get bit, and they'll put the radiation on them, and they'll go, "Yeah, you survived." And be like, "No." I'll come out of the corner with my shotgun and go, "Not today, motherfucker!" Bam. You're down. And then I'll point it at die. Yes, problem
Hey,
solved.
Chosen. Hey, Chosen. I didn't see you. Season 1.
Yes, welcome.
They're
gonna work on zombies.
What?
That's
cool. The zombies?
You know, at this rate, yes, I can see that.
No, you know what we need in Fear? We need robots. That'll reinvent the show.
Yeah, watch it get green light. It'll get green light for a 9th season because the robots will save it. Robots will come in there, and all of a sudden the viewership will spike up to like 2 million, and everybody will be like, oh, "What's going on here?"
Somebody put me out of my misery from the show. Like, yes.
Oh my god.
Out of our misery.
You know, that's another reason why I'm enjoying it, because Charlie's not there. Oh, it's so great.
Is he dead?
Brand is not there. Oh, I love it. I heard he comes back, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it that he's not on my screen. Every second I don't see him on my screen, he just puts a smile on my face.
Yeah, is Charlie dead?
As far as I know, yes. They didn't confirm it, but it's confirmed enough for me. And Dead Walker was over there like, "Well, they didn't say she's dead." And I'm like, I don't care if they don't confirm. If she's not in the season, I'm gonna say she's dead.
Oh yeah, I mean, The Walking Dead kills off characters off screen a lot. I mean, they did it with Virgil, Scott.
I hated her character so much. I really don't care if they show me how she died or even mentioned that she died. You know, all Daniel said was he was there, and then he said something happened, and he promised that he was going to stay with her until the very end, and he said he couldn't, and he had to leave. And so he said, "I don't know what happened. And I go, oh, okay, so you're telling me she died.
Unless for season 9, at the end of season 8, they're gonna bring Charlie back with a new actress,
No.
and it's like
Don't bring
season
her back.
9, Charlie's the main character.
No, don't bring her back. Leave her dead. And Daniel was just like, I'm so sorry. I didn't keep my promise. I'm like, no, you did good, Daniel. You left her ass, and I would have done the same.
Also, I love how the characters get split up, even though they're heading in the same direction. Like,
Yeah,
from that episode.
fast. I mean, she was dying though. She had radiation all over her. I mean, she was terrible. I mean, she looked like anytime now you're gonna die. You're done. There's no way you can come back. I mean,
Overrace, never underestimate Ian and Andy.
I know. I was just gonna say that. I'm like, yeah, with these idiots though, she could, but maybe, just maybe, I finally got my wish.
Wait, guys, Joshua says the promo is implying that Dwight will let Padre kill Morgan, but he's obviously playing along and is on his side. Okay. And then he says, well, Charlie will appear in... Oh, will Charlie... Wait. Well, Charlie will appear in the season eventually. Are you asking that as a question, Josh? Or... I don't know, but she realistically shouldn't. She should be dead, but you never know.
From what I've seen on, or what I've heard from spoilers, they never saw her actor in season 8. So that's my imply that she ain't coming back.
Imagine being on a show for like 4 seasons. You're hated by everyone. The characters, the actors, the fans, and then you're just told, yeah, you got killed, you're gonna die off screen.
There are some Fear characters that love her character, and they say she's the best character ever. And I'm like, you must be on drugs.
I think to watch Fear, you have to be, to keep your sanity.
True. That's true. I'm just watching, to be honest, because of Dwight and Sherry, and maybe a little bit of Morgan.
Yeah.
And that's really the only reason, because I like their characters. That's the only reason. Everybody else, I mean, I'm okay with Daniel right now, because they finally started writing his character a little bit better, but it was absolute trash in the last 2 seasons. Madison, I will say, is written better this season, I will say. I'm liking her more, I will say. She was not that great in season 7. But, so I'm okay with her in this season. Okay. But yeah, so everybody else is kind of just a plus. If they're written better, okay, that just makes it better. But, does it mean I love their character? No. It just means that, it's a little bit more enjoyable. Mm-hmm. But no, the main characters I'm watching it for is Morgan, Dwight, and Sherry. And it's just those 3, really, at this point.
Hey, really quick, Chosen says Charlie's actor might be aged up, different actor, because the character would be like 20 now. Yeah, that is true. But honestly, I don't care. They could have Charlie look the same and say she's 20, and it could be like,
right.
Honestly, I've seen worse. I've seen worse from Fear.
Yeah, it's from what I've heard that because I know people would have said that, yeah, they jumped it 7 years, so that means they would have had an older actor. But from what they're saying, it's not showing any signs that she's in it. So, which, again, I'm not going to complain. And I hope she isn't, because I really don't want to see her again. If I see her again, man, my face is going to... I'm going to freaking be like... I'm gonna swear like a fricker, I'll tell you.
Oh, Joshua asks, can you imagine if Josiah, the twin brother, Emil's twin brother, returns in the second half? Oh my goodness! Can you imagine if that? Wait, who is that guy again? It's like, wait, what did he do? Like, oh my goodness, what even happened to him? Oh, well,
apparently, Troy is supposed to come back in the back.
Josiah, the bounty hunter's twin brother, who also was a bounty
hunter. He better not. Well,
he won't.
I don't think he got killed off, did he? I don't think he did.
He's dead to me. He's dead to me and the writers.
No, yeah, true that. I don't think. Yeah, I think he just walked off screen. I think that's all he did. He just walked off screen.
He joined the land of. Hey, he's lucky. He left this show. Okay. He left the show.
Hey, it's no difference than a John Dory, you know. But he got killed in a crap way too. I didn't care for that either.
To
I
be
mean, I'm
fair,
not blaming.
yeah. To be fair, John Dory dying that horrible death, it's still better than if he would have still been alive.
Well, yes, I agree. I'm just saying I wish he would have got killed by a better way of dying. You know what I mean? Like getting killed by a little girl. I just thought that was just stupid. I just thought it was lame.
Oh
You
yeah,
know. I mean, I just thought it's like, dude, no, that's not the way to get killed by. I mean, if he would have got killed by an enemy in a badass way, you died. Okay, fine, that would have been understandable. But you getting killed by this little freaking girl that thinks she's lit. I'm like, nah, get out of here. That's lame, you know. And then they felt so bad that they killed the character that they had to bring back the father. Oh, they brought back John Cena
it's John
because they
Cena. Dun, 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 dun.
they realized how many people left the show. They stopped watching because they killed his character off. They said, "Oh, you killed John. Oh, we're done. We're done watching." And they were like, "Wait, wait, wait! We'll bring back John Senior. He's Sean Tory 2.0. Please come back."
Yeah. Hey, do you think we're gonna see Mason from World Beyond? You think we're gonna see him in the Rick Show? Because do you think he might have a Sebastian role in the show? And
Good.
some people brought up hey, what if he actually is the one to kill Rick? Which that would infuriate so many people.
No, you better not be that guy. I can't see him doing that. Really, I can't.
We said the same thing about Sebastian from the
Uh,
comics. So
yeah, that's true.
I don't know, man.
I just don't see him being that much of a horrible person to do that. I don't know. I think he might just be just going with it for now. You know what I mean? But I think if the time hits right, I think he might turn their back on him. You know what I mean? If he sees the opportunity is right, you know what I mean? I can see it happening.
Maybe. Yeah, man. I cannot wait for Summit. And oh yeah, so I talked to Walker Dead about this. So off topic. Are you a fan of Gears of War?
Yeah, I like Gears of War.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's such a good game
It is.
series.
It is. I played the fourth one, and I'm waiting to go back. I keep doing polls, and I had it on one of the polls at some point to see if they want me to go back and play the first game. To start from the very first one and then go up from there. But too many people are just not making up their minds. So
I
it
can help
hasn't got.
vote. I
But,
can help vote.
but at some point, I will get to it for sure. There's a lot of games I have to play. I mean, there's so many. I got so many new ones on there that I haven't played yet. That I'm just waiting to get into. I know a lot of people are having me do alternate choices right now in some older games, so it's like, okay, fine. The only new game I'm playing right now is The Quarry, which
Oh
so
yeah.
far pretty good.
Oh yeah, I
So,
love the Quarry. So good. Not as good as Until Dawn, but
oh
I
no,
really
it's
enjoy
it's
it.
it's good though. I like it. I like it. That's the funny thing. Which I was shocked that people would wanted me to do alternate choices. They wanted me to do two games out of the three slots that I had open to do new content, and they were saying, "Yeah, do two alternates." And I'm like, "Really? You don't want me to do new games? Okay, all
Yeah.
right." So the ones that got
Yeah.
voted was Detroit Become Human and Until Dawn, and
They're classics,
then the
man.
Query,
They're
and
classics.
then
They're
the
really
Query
good.
got voted too, and I'm like, "All right." So
They're really good. They're really good.
that's what
Joshua,
I'm doing.
okay, last comment from the chat. And then and then you guys can ask something. Joshua asks, "What's worse, the Reapers or Padre?" And I said, "That's crap versus throw up or something like that." It's just like
Um,
it's hard to tell.
if I had to pick one or the other, I would pick the Reapers.
Wow, the Reapers were worse. Dang.
Oh, oh, what's? Oh no, Padre. Sorry,
Oh,
I
Padres
thought he
were
was.
worse.
I thought he was saying which one's better. My
Okay,
bad.
yeah, so Padres worse. All
Oh yeah.
right. Gotcha. So the best Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead villain group, the last villains, from the Walking Dead, they're still worse. They're still worse than the show's worst. Gotcha. Um, All right, guys. I'm gonna be ending the stream now. If you guys have any like last minute questions you want to ask me real quick, go ahead and ask them. And thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you, Overrays and Walker Dead. I
Yeah.
really appreciate you co-hosting with me. Really enjoyed it. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would definitely say that Padre is worse because they're lame. They're boring and they're lame. The Reapers are at least
I
good.
guess my final question for you, Bry, would be: so, out of the three spin-offs of AMC's Walking Dead universe, which one are you most excited for? Like I guess what I'm trying to ask is, which one are you excited for, and which one are you least excited for, and why?
I think the one I'm least excited for is the Daryl show, and the one I'm most excited for is um Summit. But if they do more Tales though, that might be the least because it really depends. Like I need to know a little bit more about it before I say. Because if they focus on
Yeah,
just minor characters, if they focus on just newbie characters again, if it's like season one, I'll be like, oh yeah, no, that's the least interesting. Um,
I heard that the more Tales of the Walking Dead is actually supposed to finally do what we want, which is actually characters that we want to see more backstory on.
oh
That's what I
wow,
heard.
so they're finally going back to what they promised us like 2 years
Finally,
ago.
yeah, they're finally because they got so much backlash from that first season that they're like, oh, that was not good. If we do this again, we have to do it right. And now it seems like the rumors are like, yes, they're finally going to do back story characters finally. So like Governor, a couple other characters.
Yeah,
If they're actually doing it, like if they're actually doing it this time, I might review each episode because
Yeah,
that's something
hey,
I've been wanting from the
it
show
got my
universe.
hype up. It got my hype up. I was like, all right, good. If they do that, amazing. Finally, don't do the same mistake twice.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
All right, guys. Oh yeah. So yeah, Josh. We hopefully we're all gonna watch into Across the Spider Verse.
Oh yeah,
Um,
you already know your boys got tickets. We good.
all right.
We got IMAX
Awesome.
tickets this Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I
I'm not.
cannot go. I cannot go because I'm going to Europe this Saturday. Um. So yeah, I will see you guys when I come back from that. Well, I mean, I
Well,
will
you
see.
could see it Thursday night or Friday night before you leave.
Oh.
Good
Hmm.
if you're able. Ah,
We'll see. All right, guys. Thanks for the chat. I'll see you guys. I'll probably see you guys on Thursday at Overraised channel. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate you guys helping me with the stream. This was fun stream. 6 likes. Really appreciate it, guys. And yeah, guys, stay blessed. And yeah, have a good night. Bye.
yeah, you too. Have a good one.
You too. Peace out.